So I wanted to go ahead and do a video today, giving my thoughts on how I think this second half's going to play out. And now I know some of the picks I'm picking, people are going to be like, oh, you're just picking the safe picks because those teams are where they're at right now, blah, 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 but it's just what I feel. In the East, I feel that, in the American League East, I feel that Toronto's going to win this division. I think they have a better pitching staff. They're going to get Bautista back. I think this team will be able to compete and be able to turn it around. They're only 2 games out, and they don't really have to turn anything around when you're 11 games over 500. But I think they'll turn this division around, and they'll go ahead and jump in first place and take care of business. I think that the Cleveland Indians will continue their good season. I think they'll continue to win games. I think when you have 5 starting pitchers with a 3.61 ERA or below, that's fucking dynamite. Look for them to get some bullpen help. I got them winning the Central. Then in the West, the Houston Astros have come on strong, and the Texas Rangers have a lot of hurt players. And the problem for me in this division is that Texas has won a lot of games against winning teams. They're going to get to play quite a few winning teams down the stretch. I'm going to go with Texas winning this division just because I believe Texas, once they get these players back, will be even better than they are without those guys, and they're still being able to win games. And then we'll go to the wild cards. I think the wild cards will go to the Boston Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. I just feel like their hitting is going to be good enough, and I think they'll just be slightly better than the Tigers, Houston. I just think they'll be slightly better than those 2 teams. And then Kansas City in there too, but I just feel like they'll be better than those teams. So in the American League, we got Toronto in the East, Cleveland in the Central, Texas in the West. In the wild cards, I got Boston winning the first one, Baltimore winning the second one, and that's how I got the American League. In the National League, we got the East. I got the Washington Nationals winning the East. They are up by 6 games over the Mets and the Marlins right now. They score almost a full run more than they give up, and I just feel like they have the best pitching staff in that division just because of injuries right now. You go to the Central, the Cubs have played probably the worst 20 games set in the last out of almost anybody in the league. And that being said, they still have a 7-game lead over the Cardinals and a 7.5-game lead over Pittsburgh. I think that the Cubs needed the All-Star break to come when it did. Yes, I know players played in the All-Star game, blah, 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 but that was nothing. I think that, them getting the days off and being able to not have to play a full game will help the team out, hopefully change the mindset. I think the Cubs will end up winning this division. Then in the West, I'm going to go with the Giants because the Giants are playing very well. They're beating a lot of losing teams, but beating losing teams counts. That's what you need to do. The Giants have already won World Series before when they've beat a bunch of losing teams. All they got to do is take care of business against the teams they're supposed to beat, and they'll be fine. The Dodgers not having Kershaw does impact my decision. Yes, Kershaw will come back, but we also still have to remember that just because you have 2 decent pitchers doesn't mean that's going to carry you all the way through. The Giants have been an impressive team in the last month of the season, and I think they'll continue to do that. As for the wild card in the Central, in the National League, I'm going to go with the Dodgers winning the first wild card. And then I'm going to actually go ahead and give 3 teams that I believe will get the second wild card because I believe this race will go all the way to the end. And these 3 teams are going to be the Cardinals, the Mets, and the Pirates. The reason why I say this is because the Cardinals and the Mets both have injury issues. The Pirates are right there in the mix, but they haven't been consistent. So to me, it could go any way. Now, this is not to say that the Marlins can't make a run at this, because I believe that the Marlins can make a run at it, but they're going to have to go out and improve the team. And who knows what the Marlins are going to do. They have one of the craziest fucking owners in baseball. So who knows what's going to happen there. But yeah, so those are the teams I'm picking to win and go into the playoffs. Yeah, a lot of it might look like the safest way to go, but there's a reason why these teams are where they're at now. And when you look at baseball in the whole, you know, you got quite a few bad teams, and they're not even going to be close. I mean, you look at the National League Central, you got three teams that are 16 games or more out of first place. In the National League Central, you got fucking two teams that are 14 and a half games out. In the East, you got two teams that are 12 or more out. Then you go to the American League West, you got two teams that are 15 and a half or more out. The Central in the American League is a little different. You only got one team that's 20 out, and then in the American League, you got the Yankees 7.5 out, and then you got Tampa 17.5 out. So you got a lot of bad fucking teams who pretty much are done. They're pretty much done. And so it's just going to be a matter of what happens after that. But anywho, that's all for this video. If you got any comments, please leave them below. I'll holla at you later. Peace. Wud